I feel like Wardley wins this fight with a knockout. I don't know why I'm thinking of it, but it's just, you know, when you know.
Some great spars. Great spars. They were tough spars. Tough 4 round. They went to war basically for the 4 rounds.
Derek Chisora has never been one to sugarcoat his words, and his latest remarks about Joseph Parker prove it once again. After reports surfaced that Parker was knocked out in sparring, Chisora launched a verbal assault on the former WBO champion, accusing him of hiding behind excuses and losing his edge. But
And Joseph is a beast as well, but I believe that Fabio Wardley wins this fight with a knockout, it will stop Joseph Parker. Trust me on this. Put your house on this deal, I'm telling you. It's gonna be electric.
Chisora's take didn't stop there. He made it clear where his loyalty lies, fully behind Fabio Wardley. Sources close to Chisora revealed he's been watching Wardley closely in the gym and has been nothing short of impressed by what he's seen. He's fresher, hungrier, and meaner. Chisora reportedly said, "It hurts."
Because that's only sparring. If you get dropped in sparring, it means you're learning. Tomorrow morning you don't get dropped in the same shot. So him getting dropped in sparring, that means he's learning on the job. So it's okay. Who cares? Alexander usually gets dropped in sparring, but he's learning on.
That kid's got something special, that bite you can't teach. And in true War Chisora fashion, he didn't just talk. He doubled down by saying he's betting on Wardley to win, by knockout. He's not just predicting it, he's putting his money where his mouth is. One insider added. Yet, in typical
distance once, but I'm talking about with somebody who doesn't fiddle around, somebody who actually would like to get him in the latter rounds and is capable of knocking people over. You know, he's a puncher. You've seen him do it, and he's done it.
Chisora fashion, he added a twist of veteran wisdom to his brutal honesty. It's only sparring, he reminded everyone with a shrug. The tone was calm, measured, but the edge in his voice remained unmistakable. It was a mix of respect and reality, coming from a man who's been through every fire the heavyweight scene has to offer. His message.
I'm hearing things that he's been dropped in the ring, in the gym and stuff like that. But that's okay too, because I took a couple spills, little slips in the ring and the gym. That's okay, but we're going to see. This is going to be a good fight.
It was simple. Fabio Wardley's time is coming, and Parker's excuses won't save him when that bell rings. Frank Warren echoed those sentiments with a promoter's conviction. The Queensberry boss didn't mince words, labeling Wardley as a dangerous puncher who thrives in deep waters. Warren emphasized that Wardley isn't a hype job. His power is legitimate.
He relies on his power far too much. He hasn't brought enough to his game right now, and I thought he would have kicked on from that. If he's going to have any chance against Joseph Parker, then he can't just rely on that big right hand. Joseph Parker's a seasoned, well-schooled athlete.
Who hits hard.
Yeah, who hits hard. He's on a resurgence in terms of his confidence and where he is in boxing now, Parker. So it's a good fight.
And feared. When Frank Warren starts backing your knockout power, the division listens, one pundit noted, and they're listening now. Even veteran heavyweight Shannon Briggs weighed in, offering the perspective of a man who has lived and breathed the sport's hardest lessons. Briggs brushed off the sparring rumors, calling them part of the process.
Yeah, look, I have confidence in my power against Parker, against everyone in this division. I believe right opportunity, right moment, right occasion, I can knock anyone out. That is, for me, I think that's there, but there's a lot more that goes into it, piecing it together properly and doing all that. But Parker has proven that he can go down and get back up and will himself through. So I'm going to have to be smart, strategic about how I go about trying to get the finish.
He reminded fans that getting clipped in the gym doesn't predict failure. It's part of sharpening iron with iron. Every fighter gets caught. What matters is how you respond, Briggs said. To him, Parker's reaction after such setbacks reveals more about his true character than any rumor could. Former world champion Duke.
Yeah, he's got to go to the deep waters. Unless somebody slips up and get caught early. But we gotta Get him into the deep waters. That's
McKenzie provided a technical breakdown of the looming clash between Parker and Wardley. While acknowledging Wardley's frightening knockout power, McKenzie was quick to add that power alone won't beat Joseph Parker. Against a seasoned technician, timing, adaptability, and composure are the deciding factors. Wardley's raw strength gives him a puncher's chance, McKenzie explained, but Parker's experience, discipline, and ring IQ could neutralize that explosiveness, especially if the fight becomes a chess match. Interestingly, Fabio Wardley's own response carried a tone of maturity that caught many by surprise. There was no arrogance or trash talk, just measured confidence. Wardley acknowledged Parker's resilience and admitted patience could be the key to victory. It's about control, not chaos, he said. I'm learning that.
Look, I think it's a great fight. I mean, firstly, Joe Parker is on an incredible run.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's beaten Wilder when no one really wanted to fight him. He's beaten Zhang when he was like the bogeyman, and he's just beaten Bakoli, although, you know, on short notice. I mean, that was a dangerous fight to take. So
Absolutely.
I love Joe. I think he deserves an opportunity. Joe against Dubois, Joe against Usyk, Joe against AJ. They're all great fights. I think
Every punch doesn't have to end a fight. It just has to count. Those words reflected a fighter evolving beyond brute force. Wardley isn't just swinging for glory anymore. He's learning to think, to calculate, and to execute with precision. It's the mindset of a contender transitioning toward elite company. Trainer Buddy McGirt's analysis captured that essence perfectly. Endurance and control win championship fights. McGirt stated he believes this fight won't be decided in the early rounds, but in those final oxygen-starved minutes when fatigue and pressure test a fighter's soul. That's where we find out who's built for it, he said. McGirt's words carried the weight of wisdom. The difference between contenders and champions often comes down to the...
Obviously, you've been in with Fabio Wardley on a couple of occasions. What are his biggest qualities?
Well, you don't need me to tell you nothing more than he can punch very hard. You know, you only have to ask my face. He can really bang, and he's gritty. He's tough and he's gritty. You know, that's definitely his strengths. But then again, so is Joseph Park. You know, very tough, very durable, very good boxing brain. It's a cracking fight, though.
The ability to think clearly when the body is breaking down. Eddie Hearn, never shy to give credit where it's due, spoke glowingly about Parker's resurgence. He's back operating at an elite level again, Hearn said. Beating Wilder and Zhang back-to-back erased every doubt about his durability and mindset. Hearn credits Andy Lee for transforming Parker into a smarter, calmer, more tactical fighter. This isn't the same Parker who fought Joshua or White. Hearn continued, this version is refined. He fights with control, not desperation. To Hearn, Parker's return to form is a story of reinvention, a fallen champion who rebuilt himself piece by piece.
Cracking fight, though. It's going to have everyone, you know, just on the edge of their seat. I can already see it. What we're going for. Will Fabio be losing the fight again and come back? Or is Joseph Parker too cute, too experienced, and know too much? It's, you know, you're on the edge of the seat kind of decision.
He's not chasing names, Hearn added. He's chasing excellence. That's the difference. Fraser Clark, who's shared training space with both men, gave perhaps the most grounded perspective. Fabio hits frighteningly hard, he admitted. When you've been in there with him, you feel that raw power. It's real. Yet Clark was quick to highlight Parker's all-around game, the sharp footwork, disciplined defense, and experience against the best heavyweights in the world. This isn't youth versus age, Clark said. It's youth versus experience. Fabio brings energy and aggression. Parker brings composure and craft. He described the matchup as a battle between raw power and refined...
Whoever's in front of you, fight them, smash them, move on to the next. So for me, this Fabio Wardley fight is the most important, and he is my Usyk, because there's no point thinking about Usyk.
Intelligence, where adaptability would decide who prevails once the game plan unravels. Clark painted a vivid picture of what fans should expect. A tense, unpredictable fight where momentum swings like a pendulum. One moment explosive, the next cerebral. That's heavyweight boxing at its best. He summed it up with poetic clarity. One's chasing destiny, the other defending legacy. Joseph Parker, for his part, stayed composed but made one striking comment that turned heads. He called Fabio Wardley his Usyk. That comparison wasn't arrogance, it was intent. It showed how seriously he's taking Wardley, recognizing him as the type of opponent who demands full focus. Every fight matters, Parker said. Momentum is fragile in this sport. One bad night can undo everything. His words revealed a man who's not overlooking the challenger, but respecting the danger.
I think Parker has got wonderful skills, and under Andy Lee, he's really rejuvenated, and I think he's one of the best heavyweights in the world, period now, former world champion, of course. I think he's better than he once was, so that's a problem for Wardley, but Wardley brings that power in, and remember, Joe Joyce knocked Joe Parker out. Others have had him in trouble, Dillian White down, so you can never write Wardley out of anything. And
Parker isn't seeking glamour bouts. He's building consistency, one opponent at a time, to secure his legacy. It's the mentality of a seasoned fighter who's seen both triumph and heartbreak and learned from both. Adam Smith's breakdown captured that transformation brilliantly. Parker isn't just physically refreshed, Smith observed. He's mentally sharper than ever. That's dangerous. He praised the work Andy Lee has done to refine Parker's rhythm and defensive judgment, creating a more balanced and unpredictable fighter. Yet Smith didn't dismiss Wardley's chances either. He reminded fans that heavyweight boxing has no guarantees. One punch can rewrite everything, he said. And Wardley's got that kind of punch. It's the classic contrast. Precision versus power, control versus chaos. Smith's analysis was balanced.
What do you think of Parker versus Wardley? Excellent fight in terms of Wardley. Now Wardley got out of jail in his last one.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is it a good fight? Is it the right fight for Fabio?
Well, I think Joe Parker wins it. I think
does that make it the right fight for Fabio?
The guy that
it's the right opportunity. It's all about opportunity. You have so it's the right fight, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think
for Fabio.
So. Absolutely. Look, they're both at the top of the tree.
Parker's composure can dictate the fight, but if Wardley forces a dogfight, all logic goes out the window. That's what makes this clash so compelling. Both fighters have paths to victory, but only one will hold their nerve when chaos hits. Simon Jordan's conversation with trainer Dan Booth added another layer to the pre-fight debate. Jordan questioned whether Wardley is ready for this level yet. Parker's fought world champions. He's been through wars, Jordan said. Fabio hasn't been tested at that depth. His warning was simple. Aggression alone won't carry you when the storm hits. But Booth countered with the kind of insight only true fight men understand. You can't wait for the perfect time, he said. Growth comes through risk. Fabio needs this. Booth argued that Wardley's hunger and willingness to take big leaps are what separate.
What do we think of Parker versus Wardley?
Excellent fight in terms of Wardley. Now Wardley got out of jail in his last one.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is it a good fight? Is it the right fight for Fabio?
Well, I think Joe Parker wins it. I think
does that make it the right fight for Fabio?
The guy that
it's the right opportunity. It's all about opportunity. You have so it's the right fight, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think
for Fabio.
So. Absolutely. Look, they're both at the top of the tree.
Real fighters from pretenders. If he wins, he becomes a global name. If he loses, he learns what it takes to be one. It's a fair point. This fight isn't just about rankings. It's about evolution. Wardley is gambling big, but that's how stars are made. Parker, meanwhile, enters with calm assurance, the composure of a man who's faced everything and survived. It's youth versus wisdom, chaos versus control, and both sides have everything to gain and everything to lose. Johnny Nelson brought tactical nuance to the conversation. He described Wardley as a beast with multiple layers, a fighter who can adjust on the fly. He's not just swinging wild anymore, Nelson said. He's learning shot placement, rhythm, and timing. Nelson's warning was direct. Parker must control this fight's tempo. If Parker lets Fabio set the rhythm, he's in trouble. That chaos is where Fabio thrives. Nelson's point hit.
He's got at least 6-7 set combinations. He can fight. So he needs to control this beast. If he doesn't control it, don't be surprised if you get an upset Saturday night. Don't be surprised.
Do you think Parker has the power or the speed and combination?
I think he's got the speed.
Parker has faced big punchers before, White, Joshua, Wilder, but Wardley's unpredictability is something new. It's not the power alone, Nelson said. It's when and how he throws it. For Nelson, this fight is a battle for composure. Whoever imposes control first wins. As the final analysis formed, Adam Smith's summary captured the essence of the entire narrative: resurgence versus rise. Parker, the reborn contender, refined and patient. Wardley, the ambitious young lion, ready to prove himself on the world stage. They're both at the top of their respective trees, Smith said, but only one will stay there when the dust settles, and that's what makes this fight magnetic. It's not just about belts, it's about validation. Joseph Parker stands as a man who fell, rebuilt, and now fights with purpose. Fabio Wardley represents everything: fresh, fearless, and unfiltered about the new heavyweight generation. Experience meets hunger. Precision meets...
Parker has got wonderful skills, and under Andy Lee, he's really rejuvenated, and I think he's one of the best heavyweights in the world, period now. Former world champion, of course. I think he's better than he once was, so that's a problem for Wardley, but Wardley brings that power in. And remember, Joe Joyce knocked Joe Parker out. Others have had him in trouble, Dillian White down, so you can never write Wardley out of anything, man. He'll...
Power. Wisdom meets will. In a sport where moments define legacies, this fight promises one of those moments. One man fighting to stay among the elite, the other fighting to join them. So when that first bell rings, it won't just be about punches. It'll be about pressure, poise, and pride. One chasing legacy, the other destiny.